Hello, dears, and welcome back. In today's podcast, I'm going to give you a few tips regarding strategies for each module, each part of the test: reading, writing, listening, speaking, a little bit of grammar, how to use resources for you to maximize your score. So, we'll start with reading strategy. When it comes to reading strategy, it it means that you need to know and to practice the skills like previewing, skimming, scanning, identifying main ideas and details, summarizing, paraphrasing, and understanding vocabulary in context. Yeah. So I have all of these explained in all the other videos on my channel, but you can also access them on my website. When it comes to listening strategy, we also have some tips here. This includes practicing the skills like, again, previewing, predicting, identifying synonyms, identifying main ideas and details, and recognizing signposting language. This is quite self explanatory, right? To predict means to try to think what they're going to say, and signposting language when the speaker or the speakers try to move to another idea, introduce a different idea or example. In writing, you need to practice skills like brainstorming effectively, organizing your ideas, using an academic essay structure, then building your IELTS vocabulary, understanding how to write main ideas and details, and being able to write thesis statement, and also understanding how to use topic sentences. Um, I've also talked about topic sentences and other writing strategies in my YouTube videos, so make sure you take a look. When it comes to speaking, you need to practice skills like using key vocabulary, using academic vocabulary to be able to discuss a variety of topics, to give your opinion on current issues, to apply a variety of grammatical structures, and to learn how to organize and extend your responses. Now that you know all these strategies, let's talk about the English level. One key area to work on is knowing whether or not you have the English level for the exam. It's extremely important. And what I'm going to tell you, I mean, I cannot stress this enough. You shouldn't begin to prepare for the exam unless you have about an intermediate level of English. Well, ideally, an upper intermediate level. Intermediate level will be somewhere a B1, and upper intermediate will be a B1 plus. If you're closer to an intermediate level of English, well, you should budget extra time to work on your general English skills, specifically grammar. And even if you do have a higher level of English, you should still be building your skills as you do your preparation. And this includes grammar study, but also the use of authentic text. So, since we're talking about grammar, yeah, let's talk about grammar. So, if grammar is an area that you struggle with, you're going to have to do a lot. And I'm not joking, like a lot of extra work in your preparation because you cannot simply learn grammar in 1 month. Grammar takes time. There's so many things about English grammar that you need to know. There's so many tenses. There are about 12 tenses. There are gerunds, infinitives, relative clauses, conditionals, mixed conditionals, report to speech, passive. It's it's really impossible for you to learn all the grammar in 1 month. There's no way you can do that. And not having a good level of grammar is going to contribute to a lot of mistakes in your speaking and your writing, and sometimes even your reading, because maybe you have to write a certain word, and if you don't know it, well, it's spelling, but it's still grammar. And you will not likely pass with a 7 plus band score. So you need to review the grammar points from lower levels, A1 to B2, like in pre-intermediate and beginner level. And you should revise a grammar point or two, and then try to use it in your writing and speaking tasks. And after you do a practice task, you should also revise it and check your grammar skills to make sure you're following the grammatical rule correctly. Grammar is quite difficult to learn on your own. Because I remember when I was a student and I was around 17, 18 years old, and there were some things that I really couldn't wrap my head around. And I decided to pay a teacher because there's some things in English grammar that you simply cannot understand. Well, now, yes, you have the internet and it's very easy for you to search online. But again, which resources are reliable? So if you're willing to invest time, then I also recommend you invest money in working with a professional, with a qualified teacher who can actually explain grammar to you, because grammar can be really daunting. And not to mention, if you have fossilized errors, meaning if somebody taught grammar to you in a wrong way, or maybe you learned grammar by yourself in the wrong way, it's very difficult to unlearn the wrong way and the wrong rules. Grammar is extremely, extremely important. So um, it's very important. I mean, there are a lot of resources that are devoted, I mean, to English grammar and IELTS preparation. Many of these are free, others are pay. I think you should take advantage of all of them. I mean, for free resources, I strongly recommend to go with the Cambridge resources, because Cambridge designs also the practice tests. Um, you can also find a lot of information on my YouTube channel. Um, about writing, about vocabulary. I don't have that many about grammar, but about writing and vocabulary speaking, I do have. Um, I also recommend you listening to this podcast that I'm going to share. I'll try my best weekly. Yeah. So you can learn a lot of things, but utilize everything: IELTS exam practice books, IELTS course books, general English books, IELTS vocabulary books. Books that give you advice or tips about IELTS preparation are also very helpful. Um, and also, you can have a look on the exam practice websites and English language websites to develop your grammar. Then we have to move on to something that I mentioned in the very first podcast: authentic context. You need to read authentic texts. So you should be using authentic text on a daily basis. And you might be wondering, what are authentic texts? Well, they are basically anything that uses English in a natural way: articles, websites, books, videos, music, podcasts, everything. But the difference is that these are texts that are just using English in a natural and authentic way. They're not dedicated to exam preparation or English development. So these are things like watching your favorite movie in English, or reading a news article a day in English, or listening to a podcast on a topic that interests you. So using English in an authentic way each day is going to build your vocabulary, is going to build your reading comprehension, and is going to strengthen your listening skills. And is also going to help you to be prepared to discuss or write about topical or current issues which often arise on the IELTS exam. So, using authentic texts and sources on a daily basis is essential to your IELTS preparation and English language development. Yeah. So, essentially, the IELTS preparation process includes an approach where you take into account the time that you have to prepare. You have to combine exam practice tests with the study of exam strategy, while at the same time building your English level through grammar study and the use of authentic tests. Easy, right? Okay, so let me help you get started. In the next podcast, I will tell you exactly what you'll be dealing with. But until next time, thank you very much for listening. And I do hope to see you as many as possible in my next podcast. Until next time, take care of yourself and don't forget to keep learning and keep exploring. Bye bye.